Hey everybody, it's time for Blood Bowl, League of Blood Bowl. We just wrapped up week 11. We're going into week 12. We're going to talk about it. That's what we do on this little section of the video series. So, my game, in case you haven't watched it, will, as always, be up in this general area. Didn't go great. Gotta be said, did not go very great. Had some good progression, though. I'm trying to remember exactly who got levels up and who didn't, which is kind of a bit of a trick. My Pogor for sure got a level up because he's now level 3 and got +1 movement allowance. This is great. Maybe this happened last time. I don't remember, if I'm perfectly honest. I think Bambino was level 3 last time. I'm going to say that's the same. No other big changes here, although I have a lot of people that are close to level 3, so that's pretty exciting. It's too bad they're all goblins and therefore worthless. Let's take a look at the old match record chart here. So big loss, you went 3-0 against the Skaven team. Not too surprising because Greydek has been tearing this league apart. Mark analysis on this subject is pretty good. Basically no one stopped the Skaven team when they were stoppable. And now they are pretty much unstoppable. She's definitely putting out a lot more hurt than we ever think she would, but hey, what can you do? So 3-0 against, not the best here. 2 casualties for me though. I'm never unhappy to get casualty rolls. Always a good feeling. Nothing permanent, mind you. And to get a casualty from a tackle, always a good deal. So MVP, so not the best. Only 9 SPP for me this week. Had better. I have had worse. I have had just the MVP. But, man, not a lot to compare to the 5 casualties dealt and the 3 touchdowns and the 1 MVP. Oh, man, that's a lot of SPP. That is ridiculous how much SPP that is. It's 24 SPP. Luckily, that team is so level it didn't really do a whole lot. So whatever, I got 60,000, which means absolutely nothing for this team. I thought about firing Coogan's Bluff III, but what's the point? I'll have enough goblins moving into the next match, which we'll talk about when we get there, but not really a huge need. Like I said, I don't remember because it's been so long since I did this. I played this over a week ago now because I played this, we ended the week early last time, so ended on Saturday. I played, or Friday, played Saturday. It's been Saturday and through there, so yeah, it's been a while since I played this game, especially since I played this team. And I want to say this one didn't have sidestep, or didn't have +1 movement allowance at that point, but still, very exciting to have the Pogor have 8 movement allowance. This gives me a lot more reach with the Pogor. That's very, very exciting. Beyond that, no real big changes as far as I can tell. I'm hoping that this Goblin gets something interesting. Owen gets level 3, which should be pretty easy to do. I might try to do a vanity pass in my next game just to make sure it happens. We shall see. Got a bunch of goblins that are within 1 MVP of getting to a different level, though. This one, this one, this one, this one, and of course, the Fanatic. Still, I'm going to be really sad if both the Troll, this Troll gets a no SVP all league, and I'll be really sad if the Fanatic doesn't make it to level 2. God, that would break my heart. Still, not the best game I've ever played, not the worst either. Let's take a look at the Skaven side of things, which I'm sure just looks super great. Like I said, the benefit of this team being super leveled up is even though she got 24 SPP, it didn't really do a whole lot. That said, this thrower is in range of level 3, which is pretty scary because Pass Your Hands Accurate is a pretty good throwing threat, which would add a lot more damage this team can do. This dodge tackle gutter runner is almost level 3. This one was out last game, so didn't really get anything, but hey, what can you do? This one is not, I was going to say in danger of hitting level 5, but it doesn't look like it, just a little ways away. Let's see here. Radover is actually not that far away. Radover got a few more injuries. This gutter runner has been in the range of level 4, actually. That's pretty scary as well. This storm vermin got leveled up. Don't know exactly what he got. May have been a normal roll, may have been a doubles roll. I want to say, I think she told me it was a doubles roll, in which case I'm assuming dodge will be the likely skill taken. Could get a mutation, something like Prehensile Tail wouldn't be bad. I mean, guard wouldn't necessarily be bad either, but it's a fair amount of guard in this team at this point. Well, there's 1 guard piece. So, I don't know. Guard wouldn't be the end of the world, to be sure. But at this point, a doubles you gotta take. And with the niggling injury, I think dodge is a very safe bet. Which is a little risky given how much tackle there is, but still, that's only a few pieces. And against everybody else, block, dodge, tackle is still a good combo. So the Storm Vermin should be just fine. hopefully won't be getting too many injuries anyway. Some other pain here, nothing too dramatic here. Both these linemen are still worth keeping because they've got a level. Yeah, no big changes here. Amount of money won, 50,000, but this team doesn't really need to buy much of anything. Has both throwers, has 4 linemen, all 4 guard runners. Arguably could get some more, but this team value is already really high, so I think in order to reduce the amount of gifts that are being given out, probably a good idea to limit the exposure there. But still, like I said, it's doubles. Remember it is, it's dodge. Otherwise, guard, mighty blow. Guard probably the best thing to get if it's a regular roll, but guard, mighty blow, probably the thing I would be looking at there. Let's look at some of the other matches here. This was the forced win, so to speak, that we're doing for the Chaos team here. Got some levels up here. From what I remember, yes, you got 2 levels up just based on MVP and the touchdowns. So the multi-block Ogre got the touchdown and rolled double, which got block. So multi-block block Ogre, very scary in this league. Yeah, that is going to hurt a lot of people. Yeah, just absolutely brutal, especially if this guard piece is next spot nearby. I think that's his 2nd guard piece as well, I want to say. Yeah, right there. This, oh god. This Ogre team is so terrifying in so many different ways, but still has nothing going on for it. This one leveled up as well, so strong arm piling on. Pretty good offensive player for a variety of reasons, either chucking these idiots or just jumping on you when you're down. I'm still got to play Chris again, I think, which I'm a little terrified of after last time, but we'll see. Maybe I can make it work. Yeah. So, nothing really to talk about for the Chaos side of that. Let's look at the other match here. This is the last edition here. We had Elf of the Woods versus the other Goblin team. 3-0. The link to Andrew's video will be up here. Pretty straightforward game, actually. The first half, Goblins did a really good job of actually defending against Wood Elves. They lost a few players, had some injuries on both sides, honestly, but did manage to take out the War Dancer, one of the War Dancers around, which is definitely a good thing, but did manage to get a touchdown on, I want to say, turn 7. And then was able to get another one about mid-game in the second half, and then right at the end of the second half as well. So 3-0 for Andrew, not too bad whatsoever. 3 casualties as well, so and a bunch of passing, not too bad there. So 4 completed passes, 3 casualties. That'll be a total of, I can do the math, 10, and then 9. So 1924 SPP for this team, very, very needed considering how many players were injured. On the Goblin side, 1 casualty only. That's sucky, but what can you do? 2 casualties sustained, so we got a tackle at least, not too bad here. Same thing though, 8 a tackle there. 6 tackles sustained, not the best. But hey, not too many have actually resulted in any kind of injury, so as far as that goes, that's not too bad. Still, casualty MVP, don't do worse than I did, but still 7 is still a pretty good number. Considering where we are in the league for Goblins. The game definitely could have gone better for him. There was some bad luck, certainly. The game's still worth watching, I think. Pretty much all these games are worth watching if you're following this series. But, yeah, definitely a big win for the Wood Elf team. Kind of as expected and predicted. This is a match that they should have won and proceeded to do so. Did miss next game, this War Dancer. So, hey, if you're going to take an injury, miss next game is a pretty good one to force. This War Dancer still didn't level up, which... Ooh, I don't know how that didn't happen. A bunch of people are really close, though. A lot of people within 1 touchdown, 1 throw, which could definitely afford to do here. Let's take a look here, see if there's any other progression besides these 2. Nope. So we have... Ooh, okay, well, I can see we're pretty much all the SPP went to this catcher who is now at 24. So it's actually pretty close to level 4 as well, but we'll have a 2nd level up. Don't know if this is a normal roll or what, but presumably... be looking at picking up, say block wouldn't be a bad call, just to keep this catcher more up, especially against all the block pieces. Certainly there's a lot of choices here. Could add Sure Feet just to make this more of a scoring monster, but I don't think that's really necessary. 1-turn touchdowns are good, but they're not super duper necessary for this team. What can you say? Throw getting level up here. Sure Hands wouldn't be out of the question because considering there is some strip ball on the Amazon team, but I don't think they're playing again. Accurate wouldn't be too bad. Leader, certainly not a bad idea. Elf teams can choose 3 rolls. Got a couple choices. I'm a big fan of accurate. Increases the throwing power of the particular thrower. If he gets strong arm, even better. But just making this more of an offensive throw is probably what he's going to want to do. He's got his 3rd reroll, which I think we mentioned last week. Did not buy any players, which you could definitely get away with not doing here, but I think it's a bit of a mistake. I think hiring another thrower is definitely on the agenda. Hiring another catcher doesn't seem super worthwhile at this point in the league. He doesn't have the money for it anyway, but another thrower would be helpful, I think. Just another better lineman. Free level 2 lineman, I think, is not a bad choice. And then, let's see here. So, missing a player, going to be down to... does he have 11 now? No, 3, 7, so he has 10 now. So hiring the thrower would put him at 11. Might want to hire another lineman just because. This team is certainly bleeding players, but miss next game, not the end of the world. I don't remember who's playing, so that could definitely influence some of that. We shall see. But yeah, this team's getting not as scary as it needed to, I think, but it's still elves. And they can still move the ball really, really well. So we will see. I think... definitely need some more players, though. Another thrower is what I would get for sure. Another lineman is optional. It could certainly use a loner in that capacity, but choices. You don't have enough money to buy the loner, too, so whatever. Let's take a look at the Goblin side of things. Like I said, not a lot of SPP for him, and some injuries as well. The Fanatic being out is definitely rough. Miss next game is pretty hard. This Goblin miss next game, I don't know if you just want to fire him or what. It's not super worth keeping Goblins. He's had some SPP, so maybe it is. Yeah. 120. Could buy some more stuff. Could buy some more Goblins. You did get the Pogo replacement, so that's definitely good. How much money did you get out of this? Ooh, 30. That's not a really great number, but it's got a fair amount still. So I don't know what he wants to do for sure. He's got 4 rerolls at this point, which is definitely a big, big number of rerolls. Let's see, he will be down to... okay, he'll be down to 12 players. I kind of think you need to hire some people just to fill this out. Don't replace the Fanatic, but maybe fire this Goblin just because he only has 2 SPP. He's kind of in range of level 2, but Goblins getting level 2 doesn't do that much more. So punting this Goblin isn't the end of the world. That way you can hire enough people to kind of replace things. Could buy all 3 Goblins. I don't know if he wants to do that. He's at 1,200 team value right now, which is a pretty happy place actually for a Goblin at this point of the league. So maybe he just rolls with it, accepts that he's going to get 3 bribes and hopes for the best. It's certainly an option. One of the Fnatic next week, so actually he's only going to be losing 2 players to his own natural, just losing playersness. So we'll see. Definitely got some choices as he goes into development. Let's take a look at this here. This game, this game turned out very differently than I expected. I thought Mark was going to run away with it, and he didn't. He made a couple mistakes, I think. You watch the game, it's a solid game. You get to see lots of really weird, amazing dice rolling, and you get to see some weird plays, but all good. It was a great game. I enjoyed watching it quite a bit. So we're on the Sid side of things here. Only at 20,000, which is not so great, but 1-1. 2 casualties, a bunch of passing for Sid. So pretty good, and 1 touchdown and 1 MVP. So that's 4, 7, 10, 15 SPP. Not a bad number whatsoever. Over here looks like, ooh, did get a kill. That's exciting. But 3 casualties, 1 touchdown, MVP. So we're looking at 11, 16 SPP. So barely more than Sid got on this one. But I feel like this is a game Mark could have won. A vanity pass early on put him in a bad position. Ended up so the first half went very poorly. Second half, a vanity pass, and then some amazing dice rolling from Sid turned what could have been a 2-0 into a 1-1. Honestly, I think it would have been a tie game anyway. I think there was some, well, watch the game basically is what I'm going to say. But I think a tie game is probably what would have happened anyway. But still, it was a heartbreaking game to watch nonetheless. What do we have for our mixed next game players here? A smashed ankle. It's a -1 movement allowance, which a little annoying, but this team is kind of slowish anyway, so it's not the end of the world. It's on the wrestle piece. And then on the Stand Firm one, this is kind of unfortunate. The Stand Firm linewoman has been incredibly great all season. I've been really impressed with how wrong I was about the original skill assessment, but hey, I definitely undervalued it, and it definitely is paying off. Definitely has some players within here. This catcher got to level 3. I think block is the easy pick here, but can certainly take a lot of things. He's already got dodge and sure hands. This catcher is very, very mobile. What do catchers have access on normal rolls here? Okay, general and agility. Sidestep wouldn't be too bad, actually. Sidestep would be pretty nice. Block, I think, is kind of the easy one, though. It's hard to turn down block on a dodge player. So, blodge, catch, sure hands. That is a player that is not going to go down to anything except a wrestle. No strip ball or anything, so that's pretty good. Although, again, I don't think we have any strip ball aside from what's on Sid's team here. So it's probably not as many level ups as I thought. I think a lot of them ended up on this catcher. A couple other ones here. But he's in MVP range or 1 touchdown range or just 1 throw range in this case. Of getting levels up on a lot of these players. Will be interesting to see what happens for him next week. 50K. He's got both throwers, both catchers. Could certainly afford to get a line woman at this point. Let's see. He's 13 players, so -2. He's at 11. So he doesn't need to buy anybody if he doesn't want to. Certainly an option to do so if he decides. But I don't know. Amazon teams tend to shred players, and watching the games with Sid in them, he definitely tends to lose players. So buying more wouldn't hurt. His team value is still pretty low because Amazon's under dirt cheap. But it's up to him. You can certainly just leave this money here. It's not super exciting one way or the other. We'll see. So, very good play from Sid this week. I was certainly impressed. He got a little lucky, but he also had some mistakes, but he played pretty well. It was great. It was a great game. Changes for Mark. I don't think we have any new changes. Nope. This guy is almost to level 5, actually. Yeah, not that far away from level 5. Might get it before the playoffs. That would certainly be terrifying. Dean gets all the SPP. He does everything. Looks like another 2-headed goblin somewhere in there. It's not too bad. Not a lot of changes here. Team value is getting up there. What did he get away from winning? It's not that it matters too much. 60,000. Pretty good deal. Just sitting on a ton of cash at this point anyway. Maybe gets another reroll before the playoffs. That would certainly be considering. Wouldn't be a bad thing to consider. We'll see. He's been getting along pretty well without getting a 4th reroll. So if he can keep the team value down, that won't be the end of the world. In terms of development, got a lot of players within striking distance of level 3 here. So that's pretty exciting. It'd be nice to see this guy with more skills. We will see though. And I think that wraps us up for the week, if I'm not mistaken. Week 11. Yep, that was our last game for the week. So pretty exciting. I was wrong on a bunch of counts, but hey, what can you do? Let's take a look at what's coming up in the weeks ahead. We can take let's look at rankings afterwards. Let's predict what's going to happen here. We've got Skaven versus Goblin again. Well, Goblin will get a lot of money. 1,200 for team value. And if we look at the Skaven side of things, 1650 before the level up. If it is a doubles roll, that's 1680. That means I'm going to be looking at 1480 in rerolls. That's or 480 in inducement money. That's a wizard and 3 bribes, and could still get a bunch more stuff after that. Which is crazy. It's so much money. You can still get 180 after that. So he could get an apothecary. He could get a star player at 180. I don't even remember what the goblin players are, but that might be worth considering over getting 3 bribes. Wizard and some star players, maybe get 2 bribes. That's so much money. I don't know. I don't even know what you choose at that point. It's very possible that this goblin team could go nuts and maim the living crap out of this team. It's always possible with the goblin team. We'll see. If past indicators are any way to go, he will lose again. And I predicted he'd lose when I did my Road to the Playoffs special. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again. But still, might be closer this time around. We shall see. But I think the Skaven team will win. This is going to be a forced win this time around. If I was Mark, I would probably look at giving it to a lineman just because guaranteed level 3. I could certainly see arguments for giving it to this Blitzer, but tough to say. Any kind of levels that we can get are good. I think giving it to the Agi4 Goblin is kind of not worth it, because the Agi4 Goblin can in principle just get a touchdown normally. So, MVP could certainly land luckily on a few players as well, so that's something to consider. Hard to say. You could go for the route of giving it to a thrower and then hoping to get MVPs in the future. If he gives it to, like, for example, this throw, he'd have several players, 1, 2, 3, 4 players within MVP range of getting a new level. So that's an option as well. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's a free win, which will certainly help improve his standings a little bit. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We've got me versus Sid here. I said that I thought we would tie this game. That was before Sid ate a bunch of injuries this week. We'll see what this catcher gets. Certainly his scoring power is much improved than the last time we met. What happened last time? I think I won. Yeah, I won last time 2-0. I didn't really get a lot beyond that, but a tie I think is not an unreasonable prediction. I believe I could play it well enough to win it. We shall see. Let's see money changing hands, what we're going to get here. So he's at 1190. Assuming this is a normal roll, it'd be 1210, which is actually less than I have. Yeah, I'm at 1320. So I'll be giving Sid inducements. This is opposite of how goblins normally play. I am half tempted to add bribes to the pool, but I don't think I'll need to. So we'll just leave the money in the vault until maybe playoffs. We'll see. Or until I have a need to win game. This is one where I predicted I'd tie, so if I win it, it's nice, but if I tie, I'm fine. Hopefully I don't lose it, basically. With 110, Sid could do a lot. You could certainly buy some mercenary players. I don't think there are any star players you could buy at that price range. Could get another apothecary, could get 2 babes. 2 babes actually wouldn't be the end of the world because he already has an apothecary, and something to mitigate KOs would be definitely a good thing. That's kind of what I would lean towards. Could certainly get a bribe himself, though. Sid likes to foul. So that would certainly be something that would be nice for him. Either way, like I said, a tie. We've got Wood Elves versus Ogres next here. This is, I don't even know. This is a game that Andrew should be able to win. Certainly. He's just so much faster. He beat Chris last time they met, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah. It was a 2-0 loss, so I expect him to win. Let's look at inducement money, though. 1670 for the Ogre team. And let's take a look here. So Andrew's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 players. Minus 1 for next week? Huh, it was more than that. But yeah, minus 1 player for next week. So he's down to 9 players. That'll be 2 mercenaries, which actually might not be that bad going up against the Ogre team. So he'll be at, let's see, how much are these guys again? 70, so adding 140, so that'll mean he'll be at 1290. What was Chris again? God, my short-term memory here. 1670, so he'll be getting 80... Getting 380 in inducements. That is some star player territory, which might be worth considering, actually. Can't hire them, they'll hog SPP, but something that could deal with the Ogres might be helpful. Wizard would certainly tear that team up, though. But that's like a Wizard, an extra Apothecary, and then a Babe. That wouldn't be too bad. That's kind of the more conservative build for inducements. But 1380 is a lot of money to consider. He's got a lot of choices. I think he can buy a tree, actually. A tree and then some other stuff. So maybe that's a way to go. I don't think that a tree can stand up to all that punching, but that would be the funniest option. So yeah, get a tree. That's the funniest option, Andrew. Let's take a quick look over at the rankings here. See where we are here. Tiebreakers are favoring Ogres at this point over Pants Commander. I'm still ahead of both of them. 3 teams we expect to be in the playoffs are still locked. Mark is actually behind where he should be because he he tied his game instead of winning, which was a shock to say the least. Sid could, in principle, if he beats me, and beats other people with that tie, actually make it into the playoffs, which would be a really interesting playoff, actually. Skaven, Wood Elf, Underworld, and Amazon would be a fun playoff to watch, I think. We'll see. So far, I'm still holding on to my tenuous lead. We'll see how this game against Sid goes next week, and then how my other matchups, who I have Chris and... okay, so those are games I either have to win or I have to tie to be okay with, assuming that they don't go on rampages themselves over the next couple weeks, or over this week, and the weeks I don't play them. So, interesting. Hall of Fame. Any changes here? Most experienced players is now going officially still to our Might Sucks Mega Blitzer here. Best score, more points for the Giant Catcher. Warren's the One Cheese. Dominating this part here. Ogre whole team holding on by just a little bit. 3 for an Amazon team as well, so not too bad. Best throwing, lots of throwing this week apparently. Doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, apparently it's happening. Not surprising, the teams that are throwing the most are up here. This must include handoffs or something too. I don't know. No new interceptions this week. Most injuries. I am pretty pumped to see a 4-strength Skaven Blitzer being the top of the most injuries list. That's pretty cool. Ogre team has 4 players on here. Not too surprising whatsoever. I expect these numbers to increase because they're ogres and they are terrible. Warren's the One Cheese still getting way more than they need. It's ridiculous. And yeah, finally got on this chart here. Best running. No one will stop me. No one will take this away from me, including this Skaven team. I hope. I'd be really pumped to have my Pogor be on top of this. With 8 movement allowance, maybe I'll keep it for sure. Let's see here. Warren's One Cheese, they're a bit big on running. It's not too surprising here to see them being big on this charts here. Best throwing in terms of distance. Elf Bullshit being the big leader here. Not too surprising to see that. And then Sid throwing the most. Not too surprising there as well. Survivors is totally ignorable. Best killing, Dean's up to 3. Just shooting ahead of everybody here with his kill this week. That is pretty amazing. Yeah, we'll see if more people make it up to, if we can have anyone close to that, or if we'll just be stuck in a sea of ones. Best receiving is being done by the Skaven team and the Amazon team. Kind of surprised actually not to see the what's the name of that catcher again? Best score Molmolian. Elf names, man. Okay. So best receiver on here with 2. Only caught 2 passes. I thought he'd caught more, but hey, the accurate getting on that throw for Wood Elves, well, I'm assuming it'll be accurate anyway. We'll definitely increase that number, I'm assuming. Should be a pretty good game, to say the least. So yeah, interesting times ahead. We're nearing the playoffs. Season's almost over, and dare I say it, we'll be looking at Season 3 before we know it. But before that, we've got 3 more weeks, plus playoffs, which will probably be another week and a half or so. So we're a ways away from starting Season 3, but that should be coming down the pipe before too long. Yeah. Just a quick recap. Forgot to do it. Win for the Skaven. Forced win here. Tie game. Maybe me? Question mark. And then win for the Wood Elves. I don't see any other option for that one. Unless Chris really mauls every single player, which I think is his goal for the season. I think he would like to have the free touchdown you get from KOing everybody. We'll see. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you guys later.